In the heart of rural British Columbia, beyond the reach of city lights and far from the noise of the world, lies a place where time seems to freeze. Rolling fields give way to dense forests, and an eerie quiet blankets the air. At night, even, the stars seem hesitant to shine over this forgotten stretch of land. It's the kind of place where legends thrive. Ghost stories whispered by firelight. Warnings passed down through generations about things that should not be disturbed. But this is no ghost story. The evil that resided here wasn't some mythic creature from the woods. It wasn't a phantom or a shadow in the dark. It was a man, and it took years before anyone truly saw him. This is the story of Robert Pickton, the pig farmer who fed human remains to his animals while the world looked away. The Pickton farm looked ordinary enough. Located in Port Coquitlam, it was cluttered and chaotic, a maze of sheds, trailers, and makeshift buildings. It was here that Robert and his brother David hosted infamous parties under the guise of their nonprofit, the Piggy Palace Good Times Society. But this was no charity. These were gatherings fueled by drugs, alcohol, and something far more sinister. Women, often marginalized sex workers from Vancouver's downtown east side, were brought to the property. Many of them never left. Neighbors complained of strange smells. Guests told stories of things they didn't want to remember. But for years, the police dismissed it all because the victims weren't deemed important enough. Robert Pickton was viewed as an eccentric loner. Weird, maybe, but harmless. Until the missing persons reports began to pile up, and the silence became too loud to ignore. Robert Pickton lived among decay. His home was more than messy. It was a manifestation of chaos. Syringes littered the floor. Bags filled with women's belongings were shoved in corners. Surgical tools sat rusted beside makeshift restraints. The pigs roamed freely between the filth, and rumors spread that Pickton was feeding his pigs more than just slop, that the farm's meat may have been contaminated with human remains. Some even claimed it had been sold locally. Still, no one stopped him. Until a woman escaped. Beaten, bleeding, terrified, she told police what she had seen. They arrested Pickton and then released him. It would take 5 more years for authorities to return. 5 more years of unspeakable horror. In 2002, police searched the Pickton farm again, this time under a firearms warrant. What they found defied comprehension. DNA from at least 33 missing women, freezers filled with flesh, confessions made to a cellmate. Pickton would eventually be charged with the murders of 26 women, though the remains of many more were never found. At trial, he claimed he didn't act alone. He hinted at accomplices. But the investigation never fully followed those leads. In 2007, he was convicted on 6 counts of second-degree murder. The rest were quietly dropped. To this day, many believe the full truth has never been told. That the system allowed Pickton to operate for so long because it failed or refused to value the lives of the women he targeted. Justice was not served. It was managed. Robert Pickton didn't hide. He operated in plain sight, behind a smirk and the illusion of rural obscurity. The police ignored tips. The public ignored rumors. The justice system moved too late, and so he continued. Not because he was brilliant, but because no one stopped him. He targeted the forgotten, the marginalized, the disposable. And by doing so, he revealed a dark truth about the world we live in. That some lives are simply not seen, not counted. This isn't just a story about a serial killer. It's a story about how evil is allowed to grow when society decides not to care.